Welcome to the Living Big podcast, where we're all about embracing life to the fullest. Hey, I'm Marley.
And I'm Kylie, and we're thrilled you're here. We explore how to pursue our passions, nurture meaningful connections, and inject some serious fun into our lives.
We're here to show you you're not alone.
And we want to do what we can to ease the stresses of everyday life and help you in your journey of living big.
Welcome to Living Big. Oh my gosh, I can't even handle it. It is Halloween this week.
It's the best time of the year. Okay, well, just all the holidays.
Right. It's
the beginning of the best times of the year.
Yeah, it's the Burr months.
Yes.
Turns out we are not that spooky.
We tried.
We're like,
we're going to be real spooky and our audience is going to eat this up.
Okay, to be fair, I've seen other audiences that have similar demographics be spooky.
I just don't think we are, though.
I think part of it also is that maybe we don't have as large of a demographic as other people.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the people that we have listening to us are not super spooky, and that's okay.
Well, the funny thing is we're not that spooky.
No, why did we think?
So we're like, ooh, let's get spooky. We would have been down here in this basement, like crawling into ourselves if we had gotten real spooky. Let's just be honest.
I mean, you guys saw what happened when there was a mouse
and
what
spider.
Happened when there was a spider.
We couldn't handle ourselves. We literally came unglued.
Wow.
So it's probably better that we didn't get a bunch of super uber spooky submissions.
I would not be able to sleep.
Like hauntings and stuff.
Like true crime things?
Yeah.
Those haunt me.
Yeah.
I can't listen to certain ones.
Well, even right now, we were just listening to the reappearance of Rachel Price.
Oh, it's giving me anxiety.
Yeah, you keep Marco pulling me and you're like, I have so much anxiety. I gotta finish this thing.
I am trying to read that book. I think I read like 5 or 6 hours today.
You're just like, let's get this done.
Cranking through it because I cannot handle the level of stress I feel reading this book.
And it's hilarious because it's definitely like very YA.
It's so YA.
You know, I mean, there are some swears, so just beware. But it's YA content, like super chill.
She's paranoid and it's making me paranoid.
It's okay. I'm listening to Dark Matter right now too. And that's a show on Apple TV. Book first. But I haven't seen either. I hadn't read the book, had not seen the show. So I'm reading it. And same thing. Today at the mall, there was a van there and I got super spooked by this guy in a van.
Oh no.
And then I came out an hour later and he was still sitting in his van.
Stalking
near
you.
my car.
Obviously,
you know.
Okay, but we did have something kind of scary happen this week.
Yes.
Okay. So I was over at a friend's house watching Dancing with the Stars.
Which is not scary.
No, absolutely not scary. With a bunch of friends. And later on, after I had already left, we left at like almost midnight. It was really late. But just a few hours later, her husband's car was broken into.
Not just broken into.
Multiple neighbors as well. Right where my car was parked. Their cars were all broken into, and then his car ended up having a needle and blood all over the place.
From a druggie.
Yep.
Who sat in their vehicle and did drugs.
And who knows what else he did in there.
Oh, so scary. Literally the most
Anywho.
icky vibes ever.
Yeah. I'm kind of paranoid now.
The girls that you were with, I heard the story at Bunko from the actual girl who it happened to.
Right.
Her car.
Yep.
And the other girls that were there were also at Bunko. And they were like, when we were walking out, we all had a really bad feeling. And I'm like, yeah, that was the premonition that something not good was going down.
Icky was happening.
Spooky vibes, but that's not the spooky we like.
No. Also, I will say this was in a really nice family, like overly populated area.
Very
kind
safe
of thing.
area.
So safe. And so just be careful. You know, be safe out there.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm sorry, honestly.
Yeah,
but
just,
today I'm like, wow, I have too many spooky thoughts going on in my head that I'm like scared in the middle of the day at the mall.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Anywho, so on a lighter, happier note, let's change routes here. And we're gonna go into a haunted house, but spooky motherhood edition.
Which is honestly sometimes scarier than the actual haunted houses.
Absolutely. Yes.
So spooky.
Yeah. Also, I feel like your brain can't quite handle it. And so it like amps you up. So these may not even be that crazy, but they were in the moment, okay?
No, they're spooky. They are spooky. Especially when you put them in this light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But first, super duper important announcement. We have a a sip and stitch on the way. Okay.
I'm so excited.
November 18th. Be there, be square. We are going to be doing little embroidery Christmas ornaments.
I literally cannot wait. It's going to be so cute.
You guys, I think this has to be a tradition that I do every single year.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're so cute. Oh, that you can customize them. They're going to be so fun. Anyway, but what we're going to do is we're going to have lots of different little patterns. We'll have all of the supplies and things that you need. If you have never touched embroidery, this is for you. If you are an expert, this is for you. Please be there. It's going to be so fun. And there's going to be a hot cocoa bar and all the vibes and the yapping girls because we love to talk.
We love to yap. We just love any excuse to sit there. And this is a great one. Have your hands busy and your mouth's just yapping.
I love it so much. It's going to be
We're
so fun.
Excited. So you can find that on eventpenguin.com/sip-n-stitch. Sip-n-stitch. And we're so excited to see you. So please come.
Yes. We'll put that in the show notes. And then we're spamming people on our Instagram. So, you know.
It's in our bio.
It's everywhere.
It's all the places. Just come on over to Living Big Podcast and you can find it.
Yes. And it's going to be so fun.
I love it. Okay. Without further ado, we're going to jump into our motherhood spookies.
Ooh. I mean, we do talk about like the Sunday scaries, and that's totally a thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So bad.
So kind of like a similar vibe where you're like, ooh.
Just the motherhood edition.
Just a little spooky. Yep. Okay.
So we got some submissions from you guys. First one, baby girl threw up all over me last night.
Ooh.
It's the middle of the night. It's already the wee eerie moments of life.
Oh.
You're so tired and your baby throws up all over you.
Ooh.
Spooky.
You know, sending a little prayer for that one because that's rough. Yeah. That's so rough. Yeah. That first haunted house room.
Baby throwing up on you.
Rude.
In the dark.
I already am like jumpy when it comes to like the dark. Not that I'm afraid of the dark, but I'm a jumpy person.
Yeah.
And so, ooh, that just like, that wouldn't be good.
That's not the one.
Nope. This next one.
It's that and then that.
Chills. Ready? Super similar vibes to this example, but Liv told me, this is a daughter. Liv told me the other day, she's 3.5.
Yeah.
Told me the other day that she is going to go live in heaven really soon. And I've not been okay since. I hope not.
Your kid's just like trying to be sweet, you know, and they're like, oh, heaven. And they're like, I'm going there really soon. Bye.
I hope not. I hope that's not some sort of like weird premonition.
I don't think so. I think she's just thinking, heaven, that's nice.
Yeah.
It means you're teaching her that it's nice, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm going there soon. You're like, it's not Disneyland.
It probably like clicks in her brain kind of like that though. That was probably right.
No, don't say that to me ever again. So awkward. I love that.
Yeah.
Very, very spooky. Kids just say the most unhinged things.
They really do.
Lately, Chloe's been telling me that she's seeing a horse in her room.
Oh.
Like under her bed. She's like, there's a horse on the floor when I get her up from naps and stuff. And I'm like,
oh.
There's no, what are you talking? I'm like, I love the imagination. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I'm like, right when I'm coming to get you from like your dark nap. Ooh, spooky.
I'm like, maybe she's got like an imaginary friend brewing or something. I don't know, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of spooky.
Ooh, yeah.
Kids just say
just a little
weird things. Okay, our next one. I was told that my blood pressure was high and I wasn't even remotely feeling it. So that's really dangerous for me and for my unborn baby. That could potentially be the worst case scenario if we didn't do something right away. Not that spooky, she says, but at that point it was so scary for me.
Spooky.
That's like
terrifying.
The spookiest. That's like real haunt.
Like how do you
real scary.
How are you supposed to know that your blood pressure is like dangerous?
Yeah.
If you're like not feeling it. That's so scary.
I don't know. Yeah. And it can potentially be like really bad for both you and baby. Yeah. No. That takes the cake for sure.
Yeah. That's like straight up Vecna right there. Mm-hmm. Sucking the life out of you.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That is the end of our submissions. However, we came prepared. And we did a little digging, did a little research beforehand. So found some fun Facebook threads, some little Reddit posts.
And some of you guys' own like Instagram stories lately were like,
Yes.
we won't name names, but that was spooky.
All right. While tucking in my son. Wow. You guys, she's fried. Okay. While talking to my son, he casually told me he lived a life a long time ago where his name was Gerald, and he had a brother, Cole, who was also his business partner, and they died together in a car crash. So please join me in not sleeping at all tonight, lol. I want to go Google that and see if that really happened, that Gerald and Cole died in a car crash together and they're brothers and business partners.
Oh, that's so creepy if it is. Ooh, I don't like that.
Spooky vibes.
Also, just like when your kid comes at you with like a new name. They're like, I had another life and this was my life and here's my name. Like that's just like too specific.
Yeah.
You know, not just like, oh, I had another life and I died in it. You know, it's like those details though. Like we were business partners. We died together in a car crash.
So
my
specific.
name's Gerald. His name's Cole. It's just, those, not liking that at all.
Not at all.
Okay. So this one, our friend recently posted on her stories that her baby bit her while nursing and drew blood, and then she had a scab and she had to continue breastfeeding with said scab, just praying that it wouldn't happen again and trying to let it heal, but you're still nursing. Oh.
That sounds awful. I think
Like,
her baby's like 9 months, so
I
not
can
like
actually
big, but-
feel that in my body.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one of those, it's like,
well, you're nursing
Oh.
constantly, and obviously he's little,
yeah.
but also Leo got teeth at 4 months.
Yeah, I kind of have this rule in my head, but then I'm also like, I want to nurse this baby longer than I did my first. But I'm like, if he pops a tooth, I don't know if I can do it. You moms that do, you're amazing. That's amazing. And I know that I could, but I'm so scared.
There are
For
moms-
this reason.
Yes, absolutely not. There are moms out there that nurse their babies till they have all of their teeth.
Yeah.
Fearless at that point. Oh my gosh.
So my friend's mom literally had her nipple bit off from her baby.
Spooky.
And when she told me this,
Oh my gosh.
I guess it was her mother-in-law. When she told me this,
What
my
are they supposed
gosh,
to do? Let
I
me just
literally can't
pry
imagine.
it from this baby's mouth and sew it back on?
I don't know. I think it grew back. But like, the agony, like I think I would just be like, put me down.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, I'm just done. What do you do?
You cry a lot.
Is that not the spookiest thing you've ever heard? Genuinely, I was like, if nothing, that
that's
is the
terrifying.
worst motherhood spooky moment I've ever heard. Personally, that sounds absolutely horrible.
Just chomp the niffle off. Niffle?
Then I fall.
Chomp the niffle off. Wow. Chomped the nipple off.
Ooh, it was just nope. Sorry. Mm-mm.
Moms are actual superheroes, okay?
They really are. Okay, getting into some of ours.
Yeah.
So, imagine this. I put this on our story, but this was a real life story for me just a couple weeks ago. You've just sat down in your pedicure chair and you're so excited to just get a little self-care, right? So nice. You bring your baby with you because he's chill as heck. And he's sitting on your lap, he's bouncing, he's cute, he's awesome. They've got the water going. They're like, scrubbing your feet. It's glorious. And all of a sudden, your baby has the biggest blowout you have ever witnessed. And you look to your left, you look to your right, and you realize, I didn't bring my diaper bag. I have no change of clothes. I have no extra diaper. There are no other moms here with little babies. So I am just stuck. And so you just roll him over in your lap and you just keep playing. He does some tummy time while you get your pedicure and he's just poops all over.
At least like babies like this, their poop doesn't stank just yet,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's not
just,
bad.
It's just
when
not
they're not
fun.
eating like real food.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those moments where you're like,
Oh.
I should have brought the diaper bag.
Oof.
And like I'm too far in here.
I've done that before as well, except that I took Mila to go get some shots. Well, I just went to like a checkup, and then they're like, oh, hey, we're going to give her a bunch of shots. No binky, no food, no snacks, no bottle.
You're just like,
We're
not going to be doing those
I
shots.
said no.
Yeah.
We did not do the shots.
Yeah. Too spooky.
Too spooky. Because I was like, I don't have anything to help soothe her. Absolutely not.
I know. I can't do that stuff.
Yeah, no. No, thank you.
What about you, Mar?
Okay.
I guess you just shared.
I did. Yes.
I have some more. Okay, this one is truly one of the worst moments of my life that I've had. Back-to-back red-eye flights with an infant, and your flight gets delayed hours and hours and hours, so you miss all of your connections. So you have to rebook. You're now going through like 3-4 connections instead of just 2.
Oh, cool.
And it's through the night. So that's just horrible in general, with or without a child.
Right.
You put a child on that. No, not good. And since you were in the airport for hours and hours and hours longer than you were supposed to be, and your baby at this point wasn't breastfeeding or drinking formula, but drinking bottles of milk, but everything's closed. But you thought the baby was going to be asleep.
Right.
But it's not because, all the situations going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's nowhere. My husband literally went and found a closed Starbucks where someone was inside getting ready for like the morning stuff. And he like pounded on the door and he was like, "Can I please buy milk?" And they're like, "We don't even have cash registers." And he's like, "I will give you cash. Like, can I please have some milk?" Please. They gave us milk. So that was beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
But the worst part of the story, we do all this horrible stuff. We run miles in between connections to not miss further connections. It was so horrible. We were like dry heaving. We felt horrible. We couldn't even like stop and change her diaper. And then I get split up from my husband. I'm sitting next to this lady who was the most witch human. And I say witch in the nicest way.
In the nicest
because
way.
I can't say the other word, but she was a witch and she was horrible to me. Told me I was a bad mom, told me to keep my baby away from her, all this stuff after we had done all this. And I was just like, you know what? Show me some human decency right now. Like, be a human. And if you can't, don't fly. Because if you're sitting in coach, chances are you're going to be sitting next to another human being and they might be a little bit in your personal space. That's just the way it is.
I'm surprised that a flight attendant didn't get involved and say anything, because usually they do.
We were like in the middle.
Or anyone else.
I don't think they saw.
Who else was there?
Oh, the people next to us. I mean, everyone's tired. It was like a 4 a.m. flight or something like that. Like, it was horrible. But still, I'm like,
I hate that.
Literally flinching herself over and over and over again into the aisle. And I was just like,
ma'am,
it's a 1-year-old. She hasn't touched you. Also, like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
And
you're not that special or important, okay?
If you want to be completely alone, then take a private jet. I don't care how rich you are. If you're sitting coach, you're going to be sitting next to a person. It's going to be all squishy. That's just how it is.
Oh my gosh.
So that was truly spooky.
Yeah.
And horrible. I held myself back from saying very mean things.
I'm surprised. I wish you had.
I did actually. Finally I asked. I just didn't want to be like, I didn't want to explode. But I was like, can we all have a little bit of patience for each other? Because we're all human beings on this flight.
Yeah.
Can you act like a human?
That's a fair thing to say.
A kind
That's kind.
Yeah.
That's way better than she deserved.
The story is even more involved than that, but that's the short version.
Oof.
That's still long.
I mean, I've got like a little bit of a spooky plane story, but definitely not that.
What's your spooky plane story?
So I was flying just me and my baby to Texas, and I did that in June. And this was right in the middle of all the crazy delays that they were having and cancellations and all that fun stuff. It was like a day after all of that. And I had a Delta flight, which they were delayed for a little bit longer of a time period anywho. So I knew that was a possibility. So I had a flight pretty early in the morning, and I got up, put my baby in the car. My husband started driving us to the airport, and I get a text saying my flight was delayed by like 12 hours. I'm like, it's 3:00 in the morning.
And you got the baby up.
Yeah. And she's like in her car seat, ready to go.
And then you're like, JK, go back to sleep, please.
Yeah. She went back to sleep and it was fine. But it was just like, it was rude.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Anywho. We survived.
Traveling with children.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves a gold medal.
Yes.
Involved.
Also,
especially the parents. There's no one more stressed than a parent of a screaming baby or just a baby in general while you're traveling. They just be like extra patient, extra kind, and like help out.
Yeah.
Even just with like a nice smile.
Exactly.
You know?
You don't have to be like crazy extra. I feel like there's two types of people when it comes to kids. Okay.
Yeah.
There is no option for a third. And if you are the third and you're trying to be the third, grow up. Anywho, go to therapy, learn how to regulate yourself. That's it. Okay. But the two people, the first one is they've got their noise canceling headphones in, right?
Yeah.
And they're unbothered.
They're just doing them.
They're doing that. Great. Love it. No complaints there. The second one is the helper. Okay.
Yeah.
On that flight, I was not the only one who was like delayed or bumped, whatever. And there was this girl sitting next to me, and she was a NICU nurse.
Aww.
And so she was just sitting there talking to me about my baby and like just
That's
being really
so
nice and really
sweet.
sweet and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, you don't have to, but like it's nice. And it's nice even when it's so simple as just like, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Or like
a smile and like, you got this.
It's going to be
And that's
just
it.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or even I've had some who like will tap my shoulders and like, hey, just letting you know, like, it's okay if she cries and stuff. I know she's a baby. I just don't want you to feel stressed.
Yeah.
That takes so much pressure off because you're like,
Love that.
oh, that's really nice of you to say. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's a lot. Babies are a lot on and traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I will say we just did 2 10-hour drives to and from California, and I would rather drive
Then fly.
than fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying is high stress.
You can stop at any point. They can get out and run around, be as loud as they need. It is
Flying
worth it for me to just drive.
It is really hard. There are places you cannot drive to.
Yeah.
Like Hawaii.
Right.
And that's where
Yeah.
my family goes there quite often. I understand how that sounds. Yes, it's true. But that is just, I have to not think about the return home because it's always a red eye, and I have children now, and I just have to not even think about it in order for me to be excited to go, because the trip is so fun. The flight home is actual. I just have to I want to blow my brains out.
Yeah.
Just putting it
That's
kindly.
fair. Yeah.
I'm like, so I just have to pretend that doesn't exist. And then I get
So
on the plane
spooky.
and we're just like, we just did that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ugh, rough stuff for
Spooky
sure.
vibes.
Oh, very, very spooky. No, thank you. Let's see. I kind of told mine, but there's been, I mean, I was sitting here also trying to like think of specific examples. I've already given a couple, but just like the main ones, you know, where you're like so close to a blowout.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh,
Could have been bad.
could have been real bad.
Or when you go to change their diaper, you already have the diaper off, and then you're like, we don't have a diaper. Or like, oh, the white package, empty.
Oh, yeah.
Or you find one and then you're like, ooh, kind of spooky. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, I have one of those.
Oh, you have one where you got poop on your finger.
I did. Yes.
I don't mean to out you like that, but
that was recent. We were up in the mountains on like a little reservoir, and I was changing Mila's diaper, and I don't remember how, but yeah, somehow it just like
shink.
I just stuck a finger right in.
And
to
we don't
the
have
dirty
like, you know, soap and water type situation.
No.
This was right before lunch too. You hadn't eaten anything. So
Yeah.
you were like,
I need to burn my finger before I eat my food.
chop this off.
Yeah. I was really grossed out.
So spooky.
Yeah.
It's anything like that. It's like when you get your kid to bed
Mm-hmm.
and you finally fall asleep and then you just hear like the crying and you're just like, I really hope they'll go back down by themselves. Or you
Mhm.
wake up in the middle of the night in like a cold sweat and you're like,
Mhm.
is my baby crying? And then it's just phantom cries.
Hate that. Oh,
So Halloween-y.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. I was just gonna say the one wipe story that I had. The single wipe was I was in Canada with Leo, and it was a blowout, but I only had one wipe.
Oh no. On a blowout
Yep.
too.
Yep. We made it work.
Wow.
Don't know how, but we did.
Start getting crafty at that point. You're like,
Yeah.
what's that old jacket doing?
I mean, I was also in a bathroom.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think about that though. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I still didn't use like toilet paper or anything.
Right. You're like, I will just do it all with this one.
Right. And I did. You know what?
Wow.
If Jesus can make like 5 fishes and 3 loaves into like thousands or whatever. Apparently he could do that with a wipe. Okay.
For a baby diaper.
Yeah.
To dive further into the horrors or the horrifying experiences that we have sometimes as moms, here are some horror stories from moms. Okay. We are going to launch into this one. It was day 2 post C-section and post baby's arrival. In the hospital, the staff asked us, 2 very tired parents, to come and learn how to bathe our new baby.
Oh, this one's spooky.
This is like my worst nightmare. Our hospital had these tags that played a jingle when baby, cat, or mommy went near each other. We went into the bathing room and the nurse passed my husband this really cute, chubby Asian baby. We're the furthest thing from Asian, by the way. We're both very fair-skinned with red hair. So, yes.
Oh, no.
In our tiredness, we went along with it and started bathing this little baby boy. We actually had a girl.
I'm sorry. What?
You're just like, la, la, la.
The parents get a free pass here. What's up with the nurse?
I know. That's what scares me. I'm always like, chase them, husband? Like,
Yes.
I can't do it. My husband looked at me and said, maybe we practice on someone else's baby first? And the nurse said, oh, no. The mom's thing didn't ding-a-ling. It's supposed to have an
little
alarm.
jingle.
This isn't mom's baby. I'm really glad they finally got that sorted.
Ooh,
That is truly horrifying.
horrifying.
I literally like chase my baby down the hospital even if I'm not feeling good because I'm just like,
Yeah. Okay. To be fair, though, switches happen still.
yes.
There's technology and whatnot, but it is not perfect. And there are switches still all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So messed up.
This person was like reading someone's post on Reddit or whatever, and they were like, my husband, as my baby was getting bigger, was suspicious of me cheating on him. So we did a paternity test,
And it was neither of us.
and it was not his baby, but she was like, I don't think this is my baby either.
So they did another one.
So she did the maternity test, was not her baby,
Oh.
and their baby was in foster care. And then they had to go through and adopt their own child. And now they have 2 beautiful, healthy babies.
Oh.
So, and I think they sued the hospital in the state.
That's
so.
genuinely the worst story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So be careful.
yeah.
Go look at your baby. Like,
Again, like better safe than sorry.
I've seen people, they'll like mark their baby with a Sharpie.
Yeah. No, I literally make Hiram chase her. The whole like, I think this is awesome. And I'm so happy for people who do this. But when they're like, we'll take your baby for a couple hours and you can rest. My mind won't rest because I'm like, my baby's out there. And what if something happens?
You just never know.
I'm like, I want this baby in this room with me right here. Unless you're taking it for a test in which my husband will follow you for said test.
Yeah.
Because I'm a freak. I'm
No,
scared.
you're not a freak. Things happen.
It's so scary.
Okay. I went to a doctor's appointment with my oldest when she was a few weeks old because she was colicky. It was my first appointment without my husband, and I was tired and overwhelmed. I was seeing the male pediatrician who was at her birth, as I didn't have a relationship with my daughter's actual pediatrician just yet. She started crying, and so I went to feed her. I whipped out my boob in front of this man I hardly knew, and my milk started spraying across the room. Easily 4 feet.
Oh my
Maybe more.
That's impressive.
Pretty sure I almost hit him with it. Think he left the practice soon after. He realized this is not for me. I don't need to be in this situation ever again.
I just have like so awesome that you're confident and you just whip that out, but then you're like, of course, that's the time when I spray.
Right.
Not just like a casual, the baby latches, everything's good.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's got to go
Yeah.
straight into his eyeballs.
Right.
Type situation.
I feel like that kind of, well, it didn't, not that happened, but like, I just remember the other day, you're like feeding Augie and you're like, oh, I don't have any breast pads or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just feeling a letdown. I didn't notice, although I was not even looking to see if you had like leaked through your shirt or
Luckily,
anything.
it didn't go all the way through.
Okay, good.
Because I'm far enough now that it's not like pooling, but when I'm first nursing, it would have.
Yeah.
We would have been soaking. So, yeah,
Mhm.
spooky business.
Yes.
If you forget your nursing pads, you might get wet.
Rough.
Yeah, all the things you have to remember.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's just a lot of mental load sometimes.
I know.
You're like, I'm gonna get ready. Oh, I didn't think of that. Too bad. Too bad.
I hate that.
Okay, here's
So
another
many
good
things.
one. When we moved into our new apartment, it came with a pristine white leather sofa. That's just a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Disaster.
My daughter, of course, left an invisible ink marker on the sofa, sat on it, and permanently stained the couch blue. And it isn't a small stain. It's 1.5 feet big, so we can't hide it. Looks like you're getting a new couch.
Yep.
Or you're just living with that. A cute little blue spot on the couch. Might as well just take paint to it at that point and like make it artsy on purpose.
Exactly.
Just blue everywhere.
How does that even happen? This like, magic ink marker or whatever? It's invisible ink, right?
Yeah.
Like how does it all of a sudden get blue?
It sounds like, from what I'm understanding, maybe her daughter was wearing like jeans or something. And if it's kind of wet and then you sit on it.
Yeah.
Which is just messed up anyway. Like if you're going to have a white leather couch, you got to be able to sit on it with jeans. That's like the most scary thing to me. It's jeans and
They just
white.
look at the couch.
Yeah. White couches, so beautiful, so dangerous if you have humans living in your home. Or animals.
Yeah.
Or just like, again, it's not a hotel.
Right.
And hotels too. That would be spooky.
Yeah.
If it's not a hospital. Also spooky.
Okay. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
We're going to read. Okay. The ring. The wedding ring. My husband was being nice and volunteered to change our son's diaper. He removed... I have an issue with that. He was being nice. No, you're being a dad, okay?
So you were changing your child's diaper.
Right.
As one does.
As a parent does. He removed his wedding ring first. Do you do that?
No.
No. And when he was done diapering our son, he realized that the ring was gone. This was during my son's teething stage when he was putting anything and everything inside his mouth.
How small is this ring?
Well, I don't know, but I don't have very much faith in this person as a father.
He didn't choke on it, the kid?
No, but naturally, this is what my husband thought had happened to the ring, is they thought that he had eaten it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So they go to the ER and even had him x-rayed, but nothing showed.
Oh my god.
The doctor had just told us to wait because if he had swallowed the ring, it would eventually come out the other end. When we got home, changed our son's diaper and found the ring. It was just in the diaper.
Man, that ER bill looks real scary right now.
Ooh.
For nothing.
Because they did an x-ray and everything.
And you went to the ER. Just walking into the ER is like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Scary.
Yee.
No, thank you.
Yikes. That's pretty funny, though.
Glad they found it. And it didn't actually have to pass through their baby because that would be scary too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm like, I feel like you would choke on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's big enough that you'd be like, you would hear that, like,
You
going
could have
down,
it like lodged
hopefully.
into your throat. You
Yeah.
could still breathe through it if it's like the right way,
Yeah.
but like, oh, that's scary.
No, that's so spooky. Well, that's a wrap on our spooky, but hopefully relatable motherhood stories.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed this haunting journey.
Commiserate a little bit.
Happy Halloween. Yay! We love the eerie sides of mom life where sleepless nights, messy homes, toddler tantrums.
Ugh.
Those are the real jump scares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that whether you're dealing with diaper blowouts, ghostly cries in the middle of the night, you're not alone in the haunted house of motherhood. We're all in it.
We're all in it.
We're all together. So thanks for tuning in. Happy Halloween from Living Big. Stay spooky, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Living Big podcast. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts.
Join us on Instagram and TikTok for all the things, from relatable mom memes to fun girls' night ideas with your besties.
See you next week.